we went from Manchester City doing Cunha Bruno, Shaw Bruno to Dorgu Bruno, back to Dorgu, and then it's Patrice Dorgabele in the top bins, bruv. That's what
It's
I'm
Banku
saying.
Bell, bro. It's
Patrice
Banku Bell. That's what we're doing.
Dorgabele top bins, bruv. And then Mateus Kuntner, bruv, with the finish in the bottom corner,
I love
bruv.
it.
Bruv, taking
I
over
love
them
it.
corner boys. Them corner boys, as usual, bruv. Nothing there, just bare corners, bruv. But you know what we
Pioneer
said?
Stoke, you know.
You know what we said? Man United said when Marlow Stanfield and that, bruv, come over to take over them corners. Look at KA running away all of a sudden.
He's
Look at him run
gone. He's
away,
gone.
bro.
Look
He's
at. I
gone.
love.
The way the world is against Arsenal.
You bring that on yourselves. You
You do
bring that
that to
on
Yeah.
yourselves.
yourselves.
Okay. Yeah, we bring on ourselves. Okay. All right. Let's go on with this
Three
narrative.
nil.
Yeah.
3-0, yeah.
Everyone hates.
Bro,
I
it's your
gave
fan
context.
base's fault. You
I
lot
gave.
talk
I
way
gave.
too much. I've never seen a fan base talk so much who's never won a European trophy and who hasn't won the league in 20 plus years. Like
No, but
it's
listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah. Man United talk just as much,
But
no, we
but
we've
not.
won stuff.
But
because you won a Champions
We,
League 20 years ago. Because you won your Premier League 20 years ago. Like you won a couple FA Cups recently. Arteta won a couple FA Cups recently.
he
Obviously, a
won
bit.
one. He won one. He's
Yeah.
one.
been there for seven. He's been
One.
there for
Okay.
6 years.
Okay.
One
Arsenal, he
trophy
won
in
one.
6 years. Ten Hag
Eh,
left with
eh,
two. Ten
So, but
Hag
that's
left
still
with
FA
two.
Cup. Still FA Cups that everyone tries to like poo-poo, like and say, "Oh, it's only FA
But
Cup."
it
So,
was at the
so
beginning of his
I'm
tenure. He
This,
hadn't even
this
started
is
managing
soulless.
when he won that.
This no,
It
no,
when he
no.
started
I'm
when
trying to
he
bring perspective because people say that we're in the same boat, but then you have Cunha on the pitch. We're bigger,
we are bigger than you
Way
though.
bigger.
We are
We
we're
bigger
are
bigger.
than
bigger
you
than
Like
you.
though.
you won
We
the
are bigger than you
you
though.
your last seat. Okay, you won Champions League, but how many years ago was it? You won Premier League.
Yeah,
How
but
many
the
years
fact of the
ago was
matter
it?
is we've
Just because
won
you
it.
won FA Cup two
We've
years
won
ago,
it. We've
What have
won
you
it.
done
but
with
you're
your?
not. But
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Nights of the Round Table discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, ST and Mr. KA in the building. How we doing, people?
I'm fantastic. You look at my face. I'm happy. You see, Banku. Actually, no. Let me not start. You know what? And you see, I'm very happy. Very happy. 3 points.
Okay, what
I'll
are you telling
continue
me?
after Dory. Dory.
Okay, what are you telling me?
yeah, I'm also good, man. I'm also happy, man.
Listen,
Happy.
people, don't let this
Delusion.
guy fool you. Don't let him
What
fool you.
delusion, man?
Don't
Wow,
let him
wow.
fool you.
It's the five stages of grief. Five stages of grief.
He's gonna be talking
Denial.
about he's gonna be trying to bring up the fact that Arsenal won all their games in the Champions League. That's why he's smiling right now because
I'm not even bothered about Champions League. Light work.
oh dear, people
This
listen.
is why I'm so happy that Arsenal lost. Anyway,
I'm telling you, but people listen. We told you we'll be back. Um, Footy chat is back, and people listen. We're gonna be going through it. We're gonna be reviewing, obviously, what took place this weekend, the big game of the
Yeah,
weekend.
I thought he was about to say review what KA said, like the whole
Nah,
body.
no, no, we're gonna get to
we are
that.
going to
Don't
review
worry.
what he's. No,
Don't
we
worry.
are. We are.
We're gonna get to
We
that.
are.
Don't worry about that. We're gonna get to that. But we're gonna be reviewing, obviously, what took place, the big game of the weekend, the social media derby. We're going to be talking about what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and what the future holds for both clubs. Also, we're going to be looking at the big game for this weekend, Spurs versus Manchester City. We're going to be previewing that, and we're going to be talking about obviously the Champions League as we round up the group stage of that. But as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, and save the time. Share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. Before we start, I just want to show appreciation to a couple people, bruv. Like, obviously, pushing the numbers up in terms of subscribers. We appreciate you. Had one come in our comments. No, we already discussed that. Yeah, on the last one about the person that came into our AFCON and decided to make comments. But we enjoy the engagement, so keep it all going, and we're getting good engagement back on the social medias as well. Even if certain people missed the collab invite and didn't give their approval, even though it was sent to them. Um,
Even though certain people, in my image rights, mate. You know, owe me my
this
image
guy,
rights.
bro. This guy. The invite was sent. It's not our fault if you didn't. If you didn't.
You
If you
accepted it.
did. Nah, he didn't. No, you didn't. But it's all good, people. But people, we appreciate all the engagement. We really, really do. But listen, let's get into it. Massive game on the weekend that just took place this weekend. Social media derby, as we said, Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates. Um, I mean, if you don't know what happened, then bloody hell, I don't know what planet you're living on, because you could not avoid the result and everything that was taking place on social media after. But just give you a
Clickbait.
quick recap. Arsenal started the game off well. They had control without doing too much. Obviously, the corners, they got the early corner, which Manchester United dealt with for the most part. I think there was a header from Zubimendi that Lummons had to save. Besides that, there's nothing really to speak of in that first part. And then they got the opening goal. Ball crossed in by Handicap. Dorgu doesn't deal with it. Saka puts it back in the mixer, and unfortunately, Martinez wrestling with Timber, and it goes off him, own goal, 1-0. And you were fearing the worst because United hadn't really gotten out. They hadn't really started. And obviously it was a positive start for Arsenal. But then it all changed because then there was two chances for Bruno to get in. Can't really remember the first one. Yes, he got and Bruno got in, played it back, and Bruno smashed it and it went wide. And there was another chance that Bruno also got, but it was actually a great challenge from Saliba
Yeah,
onto his foot. And then United decided to step up a little bit. They pressed a little bit, cut out the passing lanes. Saliba gives the ball to Zubimendi. Zubimendi couldn't get it to Rice, just played it back off balance. And Buemo gets in, cool, calm, and collected, round the keeper, puts it in 1-1. And I think that's what changed the game because after that, United kept coming and coming and coming. Second half starts off well. Ball played from Casemiro. Casemiro into Lissandro. Lissandro wraps it into Bruno. Bruno and Dorgu play the 1-2. And then, Dorgu top bins. Nobody saving that. It was obviously a question mark over the handball, but it was inconclusive. If you look at one of the angles, it looks like it doesn't hit his hand at all. If you look at another angle, it doesn't look like it could have done, but the VAR basically turned around and said, look, it's inconclusive, so therefore we're going to go with the unfortunate decision, which is a goal. United went.
Let's wrap this up. This is the longest biased Man United recap ever, man.
Then obviously Arsenal
Can we
obviously
get a neutral up here giving the recap, man?
then
Because
obviously Arsenal
Hey, you
then
have to listen.
threw on 4 changes. Obviously decided to change the troops. Still didn't really do anything. Still didn't really create much. And then obviously eventually, if you give them enough corners, they're gonna score from it. Corner comes in, just all over the place. Marino manages to get it over the line. 2-2. Arteta with the hands in the air. Let's go. And you're thinking to yourself, this is either going to be a draw or Arsenal could go and win it because of the momentum. But then goal kick from Lamons. Sesko plays it down. I think it was Bruno. Bruno to Mainu. Mainu to Cunha. Cunha wraps it. Bottom corner. 3-2. And United win the game. So that is the recap of the game. ST, obviously, you were positive and you said 2-1. You said we're going to go there and we're going to win. And that we did. Just give us your thoughts on how you think the game went from your perspective. Obviously, the boys did the business. But what were you most impressed with from the players and the manager and how the game played out?
So obviously the first 25, I'd say 25 to 30 minutes with Arsenal they were playing the better football. They were dominating the patterns of possession. They were pressing us high. They were keeping the ball very well. I was impressed with Man United because even under the pressure, they were still holding on. If you understand what I'm saying, usually with the pressure like that, Man United would crumble usually, but we didn't crumble at that time. And after 30 minutes, when Lissandro scored an own goal, unfortunately, I was still very hopeful because Man United was still causing problems. And then you see the composure of Mbeumo. One thing about this team, we now have people that can put the ball in the net. So I was happy that Carrick made Carrick writes a false nine where he put three people who can score goals, who create goals, and we looked threatening. And then after that, I think Man United started playing football. I thought also I'm gonna shout out Carrick as well. Made changes at the correct times.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't panic when Arsenal went 1-0 ahead. And then you see Banku Bell. That's what I'm calling him by now. He's called Banku Bell. He's not called Dogu anymore because I don't want to see that guy at right back anymore. I mean left back or anytime. He is a winger. But unfortunately he's injured, but we're gonna go into that. But the goal he scored, shout out to Bruno as well. People think that I like to criticize Bruno. Yes, I do because I don't think he's the greatest at all. But he was instrumental to that goal as well, like passing the ball quick, 1-2, 1-2, and Dorku slapped it. And then I was happy that then he made the change of putting Cunha on because I did think Mbeumo at the time was getting tired as well.
He was tired.
Yeah, he was very tired. And it's funny because I actually think out of all the three strikers, I think Mbeumo wasn't the greatest because he wasn't the greatest in possession. The ball was bouncing off his leg and stuff. He was also causing the outlet instead of running in beyond Saliba and Gabriel, which was causing issues. But his ability on the ball wasn't great. It was Salah-esque, if I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
However, he took his opportunities and then Cunha, man. And also, it wasn't only the goal that he scored, which was fantastic. You know? It was his hold-up play.
Yeah.
And by Carrick putting him on as well. And what I liked as well, when Dorgu got injured, which was sad, he put on Sesko.
He went for it.
He's like, we can't afford to lose. We can't afford to because Arsenal. One thing about Arsenal, when Arsenal know that a team's getting pressed back, they like to damage the team. They'll go for the throttle, like they'll start attacking. But I think, yeah, I'm so happy with Man United. Banku Pel does it again. Like you need to address him now. He's the greatest. He's the greatest winger in the world. Best winger in the world. Bruno, best 10 in the world. Cunha, Cunha second best 10 in the world. Bruno first 10, best 10 in the world. Maguire, Baldini, Roberto Carlos, Lamens Courtois, Baby Courtois. What else? Kobe Mainu Seedorf. Listen, all these guys, they're the greatest players of all time. Better than Maradona. Ahmad Messi is better than Messi. Listen, all our players are the best, you know. Sorry. My head is gone. Like, it's fine. You know what? Continue.
Listen, enjoy because at the end of the day, you stood on business and you said that United were going to get the win. I didn't. So the fact of the matter is you can enjoy this more than most. But Mr. KA, from your perspective, obviously, wasn't hold on. Sorry. See, this is the thing with me. Is that I go into host mode and I try to go on this impartiality because obviously that's what you do as a host. Mr. KA,
did you hear that recap?
Did you hear the
bias?
No.
In that
recap. Mr. KA,
that whole recap was just Man United. It was like on the Man United YouTube channel.
Are you going to answer for your crimes? Because you said on this poddy with chest that Arsenal were going to win 3-0.
Man said pass the pad.
If you didn't, it would have been a travesty. That is what you said on this podcast. Mm-hmm. It didn't materialize.
Yeah, I said it. 10 toes.
Didn't materialize.
10 toes and chest.
Yeah, and it didn't materialize. So, first things first, are you going to answer for your crimes? Are you going to apologize?
Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Can I speak?
I want to know, first of all, I want to know if you're going to apologize. And then second, I want to get your perspective of the game. How did you think that the game played out from an Arsenal perspective? And what were some of the concerns that you had with the way how the game went?
I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. Call me shameless or whatever you want to say. I'm not going to apologize because honestly, I felt it was a fair prediction. Obviously, apart from Man United having the new manager bounce, yeah, I didn't feel like there was anything in the matchup between the two teams that shouldn't say Arsenal should win. We had no reason not to win it.
But
And we said
the thing is, I don't have an issue with you saying that because obviously I said that Arsenal
it's
would win.
Man
But I
United's
think
time.
it's,
It's Man
I
United
think
podcast.
no,
Let
no,
you
no,
guys
no, no, no,
talk.
no.
Let you guys talk.
I'm not saying that you were wrong in saying that you lot were going to win because you should have been confident. You should have been going into this game thinking going to win. It's just you were trying to dismiss us, like to say we're little man, and
Outrageous.
that's where
3-0.
that's why I take issue. So I haven't got an issue with you saying you're going to win because I said you lot were going to win. Because I expected you lot to win because of the way how things were going, but it's the way how you try to little man us. That's what I take
No,
issue
no, no,
with.
no, no, no. Because you took offense to that because I said 3-0. You were like, what? And then obviously I was like, all right,
3-0
cool.
is a
Let me double
madness.
down in it. Let me double down and like say it with a bit of chest for the for the body, like, for the views and stuff like. But no, I honestly thought I remember with context. I spoke about in the last poddy. The reason why I said 3-0 because of our previous performances and needing to make a statement. And remember, I talked about
Yeah,
getting that momentum. So that's where
fair, fair,
I thought the team was after Liverpool, after Forest. I thought the
fair.
team was gonna rather be in a big game as well. A big game forces you to play and sometimes and perform, sink or
Mm-hmm.
swim. And I honestly believe being at home, we would rise to the challenge and we would um obviously 3-0 was a bit of a exaggeration, but I wouldn't I was expecting like a 3-1 or something like that. So
You're lying. You wanted
with
us to win.
context,
You expected it. I
of
hear it.
course I would have hoped for a 3-1. But honestly and truly, it's our defense hasn't been as strong as it has been in the first half of the season,
Mm-hmm.
where we've been conceding a couple of goals. Before people were not even getting a shot of target. Now we're conceding 1 or 2 goals a game or every other game. So 3-1. Look at that tonight. We obviously changed 11. 3-2. Game ended 3-2. So our defense ain't as tight as it was at the beginning of the season. But back to the game. As you lot all said, we started off as the better team in my opinion, dominating most of the first half. Obviously, Man United wasn't completely ran over for an away team. They still played as to their ability, but Arsenal showed their strengths in the first half, in the first half an hour. And as you said, TJ, that mistake changed the whole game, flipped
You
it
did.
on its head. And obviously, something that's talked about a lot in our group this week following the game was mentality. And we crumbled. We crumbled after that mistake. We crumbled. And then obviously the early goal in the second half was just the nail in the coffin because then that's when the panic thought, oh my God, that annoyed me so much. I think everyone was like, what are you doing at 4 subs? And
Yeah.
it sent the wrong message. It
I
sent
was shocked. He gave up.
Do you know?
it gave Man United a boost. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, we're doing the right thing. Like, let it play out. Come on, or stagger the subs. But yeah, anyway, so like
To be fair to him, sorry. To be fair to him, I think he realized. I think he did have to change it.
yeah,
Four
but not
subs was
4.
drastic. Four
That
subs was
was
drastic. Yeah.
excessive.
Yeah.
Even 3, like people 3 is even understandable. We've seen 3 people bring on like you when it was 3 subs, people use all 3 of their subs at once. But
Mm.
4, that's wild.
Yeah,
Seeing
4
4
was
man,
mad.
4 man like doing the little shaking of the legs, like warming up. I was so confused. And then and even though Mourinho scored, but like to take off Odegaard and for Mourinho, where Odegaard is that obviously whatever you want to say about Odegaard, but he's the conductor of Arsenal sort of thing. Everything goes when he's on the
Mm.
pitch.
Everything goes for him.
Obviously, opinions, but sometimes when he's removed and he's off it, and he's when he's on his game, you obviously see it. how beneficial he is. But when he's removed from the game, you see how sometimes how our defense and our attack, there's that cohesiveness is not there, where they're a bit disjointed in terms of how we attack and move the ball through the lines and transition it, because we haven't got that person to link it up, to
Mm.
move with the play through each stage. But obviously that's neither here or there, and like a bit of a digression. But yeah, no, I think that mistake from Zubimendi completely blew the game, and like the players got nervy, they got into their own heads, and then the fans got into their own heads, and then it was it just we just was as we said, and everyone said Arsenal beat Arsenal, and then because we didn't, because obviously 1-1, it's back to square one, start
Mm.
again, reset, get your
Mm.
mind back in the game, but we didn't do that, man. It was just like, and this was the first real game where it showed that the players are on edge about the
Yeah.
title win, whether they're like, okay, we can do it, but can we really do it? And then this is when people say, once you get that first one over the line, then it opens the floodgates for you to have
Yeah.
that freedom and like know that you can do it. Um, but there was a lot to the game, whereas like Man United scored 3 goals. They're only 3 shots on target. So you can spin the narrative where that mistake changes the game, it changes the game state, whereas Arsenal then start playing desperate, start chasing in their own heads. Whereas if you got to halftime 1-0, Arteta can settle them.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that we would have gone on to win the game if you got to halftime at 1-0. I would have been pretty confident that we would have won the game. Um, so yeah, 3 goals, and then I've seen some stats of the game where it's like we were ahead on a lot of stats. I'm not going to go into it now because you asked me for a brief recap, so I know I've been talking for a few minutes. But I don't know. Obviously, Man United won. They done their thing, but I still think Arsenal, in some ways, did it to themselves. But it's taken nothing away from Man United's performance, because obviously you scored a couple. Obviously, one mistake and 2 worldies. Like
Yeah.
it all the stars were aligned for you that day, because how often does that happen? So, but anyway, well done to Man United.
Listen, when you
And
say it like that, it makes sense. And as you said, it's the three shots on target were the 3 goals. Mistake from obviously Zuba that Mbeumo scored, and 2 worldies. Those were our 3 shots on target. I think we had 7 in total, but those were the 3 shots on target, and I think it just showed the clinical nature on a different day, which we've seen ST with United.
Hmm.
West Ham in the first half against Burnley will have like a million shots and then
But we
nothing,
not score.
and we
Yeah.
don't score. So it was one of them games where in which everything went right for us in that sense. But KA, just talking about the nervousness and the atmosphere, not just from the players, but the fans, and obviously it filtering down to the players, and obviously Mike L. Um, there's a lot of talk, obviously in the social media world, that his negativity is what is rubbing off what is rubbing off on the players. The fact that you lot went 1-0 up and then you didn't push on, you kind of went in your shell and went in your bubble. And it's not the first time that these things have happened. Obviously, I know it was a 0-0 result, but the game against Liverpool, where in that second half, you were absolutely Liverpool dominated that second half, just couldn't score. And obviously, it could be a reflection based on, obviously, I know you sent the list in the group chat in terms of your goal scorers, your top goal scorers, and that list. Is it getting to a point where Arteta is going to have to let the handbrake off, and these players are going to have to go out there and he has to release them, because it kind of feels like PTSD, deja vu, it's happening all over again. We're going to throw it away all over again because this manager isn't doing what is necessary for us to win the title.
I don't think we're there as where people should be thinking we're gonna throw it all away again. With the way that this season's gone, we don't need to be there. We still should be confident that we can get it across the line and go on to win some things this season. There's no reason why we shouldn't. But if we don't, Arsenal will beat. It's Arsenal beating Arsenal, or as some people have said, Arteta beating Arsenal. Because as you've asked about, this is nothing new. This has been Arteta. Arteta is he's a defensive midfielder or a defensive minded player. So this is what he knows and does and does. Um, and even though Arteta knows how to play attacking football, he doesn't want to. Because a couple of seasons ago, we were breaking all the records of being scoring the most goals in the Premier
Yeah,
League.
it's true. And
And
it's actually defense that lost it for you.
and defense at lost. But then that's when Arteta was like, okay, defense wins championships, and then he changed his whole mentality, and now he's stuck in the Never Gorgon world, upside down universe in some Stranger Things kind of way, like because he's got that alien that's going to be forever imprinted in him, like and forever hearing his voices like saying like defense wins championships because he will always be defensive minded. We've seen it this season. Oh my, how many times when Ethan was here, Eze on the bench, and he's bringing on Mourinho. He's bringing on Mourinho for control.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think Arteta is the problem, but after I'm not gonna lie. After I said at the start of the season, you asked about does Arteta lose his job if we don't win it yet? I Man United after that game on the weekend, obviously, and then that compounding the previous results. I was like, yo, like this guy's gone if he doesn't win. Like, I think I'm starting to think that this guy might
He can't stay.
He can't stay.
And I even had the thought. I'm not even gonna lie. I had the thought where it's like, we might have to do a Spurs thing. If we win trophies, he still might have to go. Like an Ange Postecoglou, like
that's
get rid of him. Even if we win,
that's what the truth is saying. The truth is like, well,
even if we win,
even if you win the league, you still gotta go because it's this formula that Arteta is doing isn't sustainable. It's not because even the greatest at this style, Mourinho, it wasn't sustainable at Chelsea. He did it for 2 seasons and then he got moved on. You can't continue like this. And this is why I say I understand what the truth is saying about the sustainability. So don't get me wrong. I still believe you lot will get over the line in the league this season, but purely based on the fact that how poor everyone else is. But I don't think you can do it long term. And I think if people will say if he gets you over the line, he has every right to stay because he's finally done it. It's been 22 years.
he will. He will stay.
But I can understand why
they will never they won't get rid of him.
But I personally believe that if he was to do a league and FA Cup double, I think they still keep him. And I don't think they should. I don't think he can stay. He cannot stay if he doesn't win the league or the Champions League. He cannot. People won't be happy. People would rather have that one PL league win over a double, over it. I'm gonna say the treble, but like obviously treble would include Champions League. Yeah. No, that's different. But
over the double, if it was like the FA Cup, Carabao double, we talked about this. Yeah, people would be happy. We talked about this, but sorry, I'm gonna say he has to. He's witnessing these things, and apparently. Well, he said it in the press conference that the team had a meeting after the game, after the Man United game. I don't know if you guys heard about it, where it was like a clear the air kind of. It was not like everyone was shouting, blah blah, get like proper shouting, getting everything off their chest, but it was more like okay, what are we guys doing? Like, let's seriously reflect and what do we want to do? Like, how do we want to go about these last few months of these seasons? Like, do we want to go out as punks? And second again, ole, or do you want to go out? And Kelsey came out in a press conference and he said he encouraged the fans to get on board as well because apparently I'll come out at that meeting, everyone's got their mind back on that. He was basically speaking as if everyone's got their focus realigned, got their focus back, and they're back on track. Yeah, so but he has to figure it out though, man, because you've got again. I'm ranting on again. I'm rambling, but you've got Eze on the bench. You've got players where you can mix it up a bit,
Yeah,
and
one
so
hundred.
but not like for like replacing you playing the same players, same style of players in the same position, just you're changing them at 70, 60 minutes. That's not switching up. You're just keeping your
Yeah,
rotating.
rinse and repeat.
You're just rinsing and repeat and bringing on fresh legs to do the same thing that hasn't been working. So you're not making opposition think like. But when you've got players like Eze on the pitch, you don't have to bring him on to replace Odegaard. Bring him on the left. Bring I don't even know. Top of my head right now, I can't even think. But like, just mix it up and switch it up a little bit. But anyway, yeah. I think Arteta can still get us there, but he has to kind of like. I don't even know if he can really sign Bale because he's just ingrained like this. But he has to find a way because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to come to a stuttering halt.
Again.
But it'll be the worst. This will be the worst of them all.
This will be
It'll be
the
the
worst
worst of them all. It'll be the worst of them all.
Because of how bad it is. One more thing before we go to United. But KA, obviously I know Champions League, you've won all 8 games. That's positive. Obviously, still 4 points clear, top of the league, positive. Still got the League Cup
semi-final. Do you know what?
That's
not even. I don't even. Sorry. That was even pissing me off as well. We're 4 points because we shouldn't be 4 points.
Yeah, it should be more.
We should be that. So when people, so I was like, so if we lose, and see, are we going to be like, oh, it's okay because we're 1 point? Like I feel like I'm turning into the truth.
That's what I was going to get to. Obviously, 4 points clear in the league. Obviously, League Cup, FA Cup is still in it. But Leeds are next away. Obviously, you haven't won your last 3 league games, 2 draws. Obviously, the loss to United. The thing. So, what happens if you lose to Leeds? Because the expectation is that Villa could beat Brentford. Spurs City, we never know because we'll get into that in the preview, so we never know. But there could be a possibility. There could be a possibility that it's only 1 point. What happened, or even if you draw against Leeds and the total then gets cut down to 2 points? What happens? Because the PTSD will be running riot if you lot don't beat Leeds on Sunday.
Oh, I'll be acting on it as well. I'll be putting judge on it as well, bro. Listen.
And this is the thing, isn't it? Because of like the way the world is against Arsenal.
You bring that on yourselves. You bring that on yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We bring on ourselves. Okay. All right. Let's go on with this now. Everyone hates. I gave
fan
context.
base's fault. You lot talk way too much. I've never seen a fan base talk so much who's never won a European trophy and who hasn't won the league in 20 plus years. Like
listen to this. Yeah, Man United talk just as much.
No,
because you won a Champions League 20 years ago. Because you won your Premier League 20 years ago. Like you won a couple FA Cups recently. Arteta won a couple FA Cups recently. Obviously,
he won one. He won one.
Yeah.
He's been there for 6 years.
Okay.
One trophy in 6 years. Ten Hag left with 2. Ten Hag left with 2.
Still FA Cups that everyone tries to like poo-poo like and say, oh, it's only FA Cup.
But it was at the beginning of his tenure. He hadn't even started managing when he won that.
I'm trying to bring perspective because people say that, oh, we're in the same boat, but then you have Cunha on the pitch. We're bigger.
We are bigger than you. Way bigger. We are bigger than you. We are bigger than you.
Your last season, okay, you won Champions League, but how many years ago was it? You won Premier League. How many years ago was it? Because you won FA Cup 2 years ago.
We've won it.
But you're not. But in today's era,
but we've won it. You haven't won it in your history. Spurs has a European trophy and you don't.
No, I get that. I get that. But that was like how many decades ago?
But it doesn't matter because we've won it.
Yes, that exists. No, we get that. But the heritage is still there. I
Of
get
course,
that.
Your
It's part of
heritage
your
is
heritage.
of
That
course it
makes you the
is.
big. No. You are obviously that makes
We're
you've
bigger
won that in your
from
history.
we're bigger from way more facets than just obviously the trophies that we
No,
won.
I get that. I get that. But like you said, I said with my chest 3-0. Man United are still talking with their chest when you're in some ways you lot are in the mud in the same boat as us. Like you
Of
ain't won
course,
the PL in
but
how
we
many
got proof,
years?
right?
of
We got proof that on Sunday. I can't lie, and your heritage is second place. So I
No,
don't
but
know what's going
no,
on.
but if one game, if we went on to win, if we went to win, if we okay, if we went on to win the PL, what like obviously you'll find
if
something to
you
say. Man
if
United
you
fans on all fans will find something to say. Oh, it took you 6 years.
if
Oh,
no
this
no
league
no
is
no
dead.
no 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 no
No,
No,
people
no,
will,
if
but
you
you know,
lot
you lot
if
might not say that, but
yeah
people will say that.
yeah yeah
yeah.
People
yeah.
will find everything, go to the nth degree to make it look like it's nothing.
No, because at the end of the day, the Premier League is the holy grail. It's the thing that proves, like, look, it's 38 games. So if you win it, you've deserved to win it. If other teams are poor or other teams throw it away, that's on them. You are doing it over the course of 38 games. So you literally prove that you want it. And if you lot win it this season, which I'm expecting you lot to, you are allowed to say whatever you like because you have done it. Because no longer can the and people say, "Oh, look, it's been 2 decades and you haven't won it," and blah blah blah, and this, that, and the other. Same thing if you win the Champions League. If you not win the Champions League this season, that whole thing of you never having a European trophy now goes away. That thing of Spurs having one and you lot not having one goes away. But this is my point is with this is that you've never won a European trophy. You haven't won the league in 20 plus years. The FA Cup for Mike L happened at the beginning of his tenure. I think all the other big six clubs have won a trophy since he won the FA Cup. Um, yeah, I think so. Everybody else, to a certain extent, has something to say because they've all won stuff, whilst Mike L hasn't. So this is my
Wait,
point.
you just said that you won a cup.
No, he did, but I'm saying since he
At
won
the
the FA
start,
Cup at the beginning.
at the start, and
So,
it was at the
but
start, and
yeah,
it
so
wasn't even
like
his own
obviously
team.
Spurs fans talking to you lot is a nonsense, but it's a trophy that they have that you lot haven't. And before you go there and say you weren't in it, you lot had the opportunity to win it and you threw it away to Chelsea. So you
And
have been in that
Mbappe,
competition and you threw it away. So this is my point: is that all
Congratulations
these
to Spurs for being the 33rd best team in Europe.
yeah, which is fine. But the fact of the matter is, it's a European trophy that they've won, and you lot have not. And you lot were not in it last season. I get it, but you had a chance to win it against Chelsea, and you threw it away. Or else Spurs winning that would have meant nothing. They couldn't chat to you because you would have already had one. That's the point here. The point is that your fan base talk too much for a club that haven't won anything of note in recent years. And in terms of football heritage, nothing in Europe and no Premier League in 20 plus years. That's the point. If you lot would just be quiet, humble yourselves a little bit, because at the end of the day, banter's banter, we don't mind it. But humble yourselves a little bit. Stop celebrating the league in December. Stop celebrating the league in January, and just wait till it actually happens.
No one said
Not
who's
you,
celebrating the league.
not you. I'm talking in general. Um,
I
then
remember one time
maybe
Man
people
United were
it'll
going to
be
win the league earlier
huh?
on. I remember early on in the season, Man United were going to win the league.
Nah. When who?
A
Where were
couple of
we?
months ago.
Nah. Never that.
No,
Never that. But anyway, I digress. Leeds. It's do or die. I personally believe this. Obviously, this is the biggest game in the season for you lot. Purely,
Leeds.
purely because you need to stop the rot. You need to stop get some momentum back going, and you need to stop that outside noise.
And this is where I was coming from with
Yeah.
Man United. Like the best way to make that statement and to quiet is to do it on the biggest stage.
Mm.
And that's where I was going with. That's what obviously I was like, okay, I got excited with the 3-0, but they need to make a statement and perform on the biggest stage to show the world that okay, we're ready.
100%. And listen, we're going to see because, boy, if you lot don't win that and City and Villa end up winning, bloody hell, the noise is only going to get louder and louder and louder. But ST, from our perspective, obviously it was a great result, obviously, to go on top of the fact that obviously winning the Manchester Derby. Um, people are talking about Carrick and giving him the job now, all that foolishness. Obviously, ST
No.
and I know better because we know what happened with Ollie. So we know better than that.
Carrick's in the car.
But ST,
Carrick's at Carrington.
I
That's
think, I think in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
this game against
Doctor.
Fulham is Carrick's biggest game of the season. And the
Mm.
reason why I say that is because there was no expectation against City. I understand it was a derby, but there was no expectation. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew what team was going to come out. Against Arsenal, most people didn't have us winning that game, but the expectation was a performance. It wasn't going to be as bad as it was under Amorim. And in both games, they exceeded expectation. But here's the thing now, ST, is that we're now coming up against A, our bogey team in Fulham, but B, it's the expectation that you lot should win this game. How are we going to deal with a mid block and low block?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to create? How are we going to get through this? Because it's all well and good winning the games that there's less pressure and the expectations are lower. But this game is just as important because this game has to be won because it can prove that we really can play against anybody, but also it puts the doubters and the naysayers because the talk is right now, you lot are good when the pressure isn't on and teams are open and they're willing to play against you. And we've seen in previous seasons, we always struggle against mid and low blocks. So how important is this game? Obviously, I know how important it is, but what are your expectations from this next game against Fulham? And what can Carrick do to adjust and win this game?
So as you know, Fulham have overall very strong defense. They have Anderson, Robinson, Bassi, who've been
Bassi.
playing very
Yeah,
well,
all the AFCON players are back, which is really annoying as well.
which is very annoying. So unfortunately, Dorgu would have been useful for
Mm-hmm.
this, but I think now having Cunha, Ahmad, and Mbuemo, we have a lot of movement which can cause them trouble because with defenders like Bassi and Anderson, they like those big, strong forwards who like to hold the ball up, so they're more likely to win duels like that. However, with people like Cunha, Ahmad, and Mbuemo who drop in, who run in behind the defenders, that sort of version of forward line is what we need to beat a Fulham team like that. Um, I'm interested to see if Carrick plays that team with Kobe and Casemiro there just for ball retention
I
purposes.
think he will. I think in this game,
I
I think
think
he
he
will.
will. If he does, then we're gonna have a very good chance because we'll be keeping the ball, and I'm hoping that Man United are focused. And it's going to be the biggest test in the sense that Fulham are going to play a low block. They're defensively in general very solid. So if Carrick can pass this test, then I'll be like, okay, we have something. If you understand what I'm saying. But it's the most important. It's probably the most important game because I want to see what they do. If I'm able to see Carrick effectively break a low block such as Fulham, we have to be having conversations saying, listen, this is good so far. We like what we're seeing, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, 100%. And I think that's the thing. Can he pass this test? And look, I think there's a little bit of a misconception with Amarim, as bad as it was, because I think one of the main things with us was we weren't finishing our chances. Because if you actually look, I think I saw some stupid stat the other day. I think we've created the most chances or had the most shots in the league or something mad like that. So it's not for a want of trying. It's a case of players, people not finishing. So I think with Konya and Buemo, Ahmad, Cass creating, I think we can do something, but it's can we keep the door locked down the other end? And don't get me wrong, Maguire and Martinez have been very good. I think of the whole back four were very good against Arsenal um, in the last game. But it's Fulham on transition. Can we deal with Fulham on transition? Because they're going to be trying. They're going to be the transition team. Are we going to be able to deal with that? And these are all the questions that need to, because you got a lot of United fans that will say we should absolutely wipe the floor with this Fulham team. But you know, ST, you know me and you were not stupid. We understand how football works, and that isn't the case. Not anymore. Not in this day and age. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what takes place. Unfortunately, as you said, we've lost Dorgu, which is very annoying. 10 weeks out, but we've got players that can replace him. And listen, I'm looking forward to it, bruv, because we went from Manchester City doing Cunha Bruno, Cunha Bruno, Cunha Bruno, Shaw Bruno, to Dorgu Bruno, Dorgu Bruno, Dorgu Bruno, back to Dorgu. And then it's Patrice Dorgabele in the top bins, bruv. That's what
It's
I'm
Banku
saying.
Bell, bro. It's
Patrice
Banku Bell. That's what we're doing.
Dorgabele top bins, bruv. And then Mateus Kuntner, bruv, with the finish in the bottom corner,
I love
bruv.
it.
Bruv, taking
I
over
love
them
it.
corner boys. Them corner boys, as usual, bruv. Nothing there, just bare corners, bruv. But you know what we
Pioneer
said?
Stoke, you know.
You know what we said? Man United said when Marlow Stanfield and that, bruv, come over to take over them corners. Look at KA running away all of a sudden.
He's
Look at him run
gone.
away,
He's gone.
bruv.
Look
He's
at. I
gone.
love him.
Um,
He's gone.
but yeah,
You know.
all banter aside, I think that personally, we'll see what happens in this Fulham game, and hopefully we can get the result that we want. But moving on, listen, the big game of this weekend is is Spurs versus Manchester City. Um, it's very, very odd because this City side obviously coming off a positive result on the weekend, winning obviously 4 points off Arsenal now. But this is. I actually saw a mad stat. I thought that this was Pep. It is Pep's bogey team because like he doesn't like playing Spurs, but Pep's obviously the longevity of being in the Premier League longer than anywhere else. But Pep's actually got 3 teams that he's lost to the most. They're all in the same 10 times: Spurs, Liverpool, Manchester United, which is crazy. But KA from this game, obviously, we know. Actually, no, KA. This is actually an interesting question. KA, obviously, City versus Spurs.
Who do you want to win?
Who do you want to win that game?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I want City to lose.
So you're actively supporting Tottenham.
I want City to lose.
So you're actively supporting Tottenham.
That's what he
No,
is, boy.
I want Gueye on goals, bro. I want Gueye to score his own goals. Maybe O'Neal go to clear it, Carragher style, like slice it top bins, and City win. City lose, sorry. That's what I want to
He's
happen.
supporting Tottenham, people.
So you're supporting Tottenham. You're twerking for
North
Tottenham.
London forever.
Nah,
You're
man,
twerking for Tottenham.
this ain't Mr. Ooze. Nah, it's nah. Do you know what? We don't even have to watch that. We don't even have to watch that. Arsenal win their games, and that's it. All we have to do is worry about ourselves and do our own thing and perform.
Which is true, but obviously a helping hand is always welcome.
It's welcome, but
so Spurs to win.
as long as we do our thing, we shouldn't even have to worry about it.
Look at this political. He wants Spurs to win, people. It's
Of course
okay.
he does. Of course he wants Spurs to win. Obviously he can't admit that. But listen, from the game's perspective,
Mate. Nah, I'm not ashamed of some fans, man, where they're loaning themselves to other clubs for hours. You won't see me do that.
Nah,
Man.
I hear it. But listen, it's an odd one because obviously Spurs are in the terms of the league, they're in the mud. They're absolutely terrible right now. So they probably don't want to face City, but then they probably do want to face City because it's City and they always do well against City. But
They ain't got Harry Kane and Son this time, though, man.
Yeah, but they beat them earlier this season without him. They beat them earlier this season without him. Was it 2-0 at Etihad? I think was it at Etihad or was it at Spurs? Can't remember. But yeah, it's a game that could help Arsenal, or Spurs could do what they did. What was it, 2 seasons ago? And they could just lie down,
down tools,
and let Manchester City win that game. So it's a bit of a sticky one still. But when we look at City, because their form has just been so indifferent, ST, obviously bringing Gay in, obviously Semenyo, as we've said, still long-term absentees, obviously Diaz, Stones, and Guardiola. Can City pose a threat to Arsenal, especially if they could get the 3 points against their bogey team?
I mean, Touchwood, yes, of course they. Touchwood, of course they do. Listen, I'm praying to all the gods during the judge that Arsenal do not win this league or the Champions League. But if I'm very being serious, I'm being sensible. Man City are not good enough. Not this year. There's too much inconsistencies, and I think that Arsenal's still just got a little bit more. They're just a little bit too good for Man City. Man City will lose again.
Yeah.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose a few games again. It's only
But
really
don't
about
you...
Arsenal, not class. Yeah, go on.
Nah, I'll worry about it. If they manage to get through the next couple of games where they play Spurs and Liverpool and I think Chelsea in a few weeks, then that's gonna build their confidence if they can get maximum points against those teams.
But they ain't gonna get maximum points.
So yeah, because
I'm telling
they're are they home or away to Spurs?
you.
I don't even know
Wait.
actually.
I'll check that, but I know they're at home to Liverpool. No, they're not. They're away to Liverpool. Yeah, it's mad. I think all of them are away, aren't they? No, I think they're. Hold on, let me just check that quickly. We can do that, people. Yeah, they're away at Spurs.
But Spurs have been playing better away from
Away at
home.
Spurs, away at
They're-
Liverpool. Yeah, so they're away at Spurs, away at Liverpool, and I think they also play Chelsea away as well.
Yeah.
So bro, it's 3 away games. Like, obviously, I don't think they're all back to back, but
they're
away
not.
at Spurs, away at Liverpool. I know Spurs and Liverpool are back to back because two
Yeah.
weekends in a row. But then away to Chelsea as well. It's I just
I don't
can't
see them
see
getting
how they're
points.
not going to
Yeah.
drop points. I
Yeah.
can't see how they're not going to drop points.
Yeah, they're
So,
February a bit wild. They're in terms of their
so
fixtures as well.
I think the only team that has a worse February than City is Tottenham, is Spurs. Spurs are the only ones that got it worse. Um, so I think that City with dropping points is inevitable. It's just a case of, can Arsenal just keep the cogs turning and keep on going? But I think it will be a statement if City can get the win against Spurs, purely because it's their bogey team. But it's funny because you look at it and you think to yourself, well, they should win because of how poor Spurs are in the league, at the point where they want Thomas Frank out. So it's one of those ones where you could literally flip a coin and see a result. I think the one thing that's guaranteed is that this ain't going to be a draw. I think there's been one draw in their last 10 games in the league. So I think you can bet your money there's not going to be a draw. But predictions, Kay, what are you telling me?
What, City Spurs?
Mm.
Um, I'm hoping City lose 1-2. Oh, so it's away
Supporting
2-1.
Tottenham people.
So Tottenham to win
I hope City
2-1.
lose 2-1.
So Tottenham to win 2-1.
Tottenham flags sees will be supporting them.
Yeah, my prediction for City to lose 2-1.
ST.
I think Tottenham are going to draw.
We'll take a draw.
Yeah, because you know what it is. Yeah, as much as I want Arsenal to suffer, yeah, Man City, Tottenham are Man City's bogey team. They just don't like playing against them. So I'm saying 2-2, even without Kudus. So 2-2.
I'm going to say 2-1 City.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Spurs are just so. I know obviously it's City's bogey team, but I just think Spurs are so poor in the league right now, and
Bad at home as well. Their home record
and
is
their home record is awful, and
atrocious.
the fan base is so toxic right now because they want that manager out, Thomas
Oh,
Frank out.
the season, silver season ticket holder at Arsenal, yeah.
That
There's a chant. Arsenal fans have a chant about him as well.
oh, is it?
Yeah, season ticket holder.
That's crazy, but nah, I think City will just get over the line. It's going to be difficult, just because of how much they don't like playing Spurs. But I think they might get over the line. But that's one for City, one for a draw from ST and KA supporting Spurs. So Listen, it's going to be an interesting one. That's the big game of the weekend. Finally, let's wrap up the Champions League. K, obviously, 100% record for Arsenal, beating Kaiserslautern 3-2 in the
That's so
Champions
nice,
League
man.
last game. Um, Obviously, Bayern
That's
Munich.
Kairat Almaty, by the way, for people who don't understand the female.
um, Bayern finishing second, Liverpool finishing third, Spurs finishing fourth, Barca fifth, Chelsea sixth, Sporting Lisbon seventh, and Manchester City eighth. In the playoff places that will have to play the two-legged playoffs, you got Real Madrid, Inter, PSG, Newcastle, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Dortmund, Olympiacos, Club Brugge, Galatasaray, Monaco, Karabakh, Bodak Yellow, and Benfica. Crazy. That is crazy in the playoff places. So now that the league phase is wrapped up, early doors. I know obviously if you go based off of what happened last season, you can't predict these things because
Mhm.
PSG had to go through the playoffs and they ended up winning the Champions League. But just based off what you man have seen so far, who are you expecting to who's the favourites to win this Champions League based on what you man have
Everybody's gonna
seen?
everybody's gonna say Arsenal, but if I'm being honest, and I think we spoke about this off stream, like Bayern Munich are looking dangerous, you know. I think Bayern Munich have a very good even though they Arsenal beat Bayern Munich, I think Bayern Munich, especially with Musiala coming back as well, and you've got Kane Diaz, I think they could go win it, you know. I think Kane might get his first Champions League trophy.
Madness. That is mad. Kay, obviously, you've got a horse in the race. Actually, so do I. But you've got a horse in the race. Arsenal, obviously, 100% record. People will say that you lot are the favourites for this as well. How are you? Obviously, it couldn't have gone any better in terms of you winning all the games in the group stage. But how do you see it planning out? Is this a trophy that you can see you lot winning this season for sure?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I can see it. We can see it being a trophy, but at the same time, it's just been the knockout phase, as you just eloquently spoke about it. PSG, they were in the they were in the playoffs games. Liverpool topped the league phase last season and then got knocked out at the
Mm,
first opportunity by PSG, who eventually went on to win it. So I haven't been counting my chickens yet, just yet when it comes to Champions League. I think why not? Why can't we do it? I believe we can. Obviously, but we need to have perfect games because last season it's the same thing. We had the opportunity and we could have said why not, but then we faltered in the and we didn't make it past the semis. So these things you can say whatever you want, but when it comes to crunch time in those latter months is when it matters.
Mhm.
So so again, even back to Premier League, like with Arsenal, people are saying, "Oh, we would have snatched people's hands off if we were told we would be in this position in January." We've been in this position in January before. Like it's nothing new, but people are talking about like, "Oh, we're in a great position in January. Arsenal would never have pictured it." Like blah 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 blah. This is nothing new, and we've seen over time that when it comes to April, May, that's when you need to be not even laying markers, just handling business.
no,
So, so yeah, I can see us doing it, but we're not even anywhere there yet to be saying that, um, having our thinking that we've already got our name etched on that trophy. Yeah, we're not there yet. So, but it's a positive winning 8 out of 8 games. It's something to build off. It's something to help get you kick started, give you that momentum going into that stage and a bit of confidence. So, hopefully the boys turn up in the next round because now it's do or die knockouts. We'll see who we get, and but I've all got all that confidence and that we can kick on.
no, it's true. And look, at the end of the day, from you guys' perspective, there's nothing to fear. You played Bayern. I know it was obviously one game, but you played Bayern, you beat them. You played Inter Milan, you beat them. Obviously, Inter were finalists last season. Played Atletico Madrid, you beat them. So in terms of going toe to toe with some of the elites in European football, there's nothing to fear in that sense. But things can change very quickly, as we saw with PSG. ST, I can agree with you. I think Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich is the. If I'm Arsenal, and if there's any team to be nervous about, I'd probably say it is Bayern Munich. Not to say that they can't beat them, but because they already have. But I think that would be the team I'd look at and be like, yeah, I think they could give us a problem. I think if Arsenal look at anyone else, realistically, yeah, Barca's got a good attack, but they can't defend for shit. You look at
PSG aren't the same team.
PSG aren't the same team. You look at Liverpool, yeah, they can cause a threat. Obviously, we've seen the two games, and obviously Arsenal haven't beaten Liverpool this season. Obviously, Liverpool won at
Yeah.
home, got the draw away, so you can look at that as well. But I personally believe that looking at it now, I think Bayern's probably the only team that I would, and obviously the history between Arsenal and Bayern as well is probably the only time you could be like, yeah, I think there'll be ones that I'd want to avoid till the final. I think anyone else, obviously, we don't know in terms of the playoffs, and when you look at all the other teams in the top eight, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything to fear for Arsenal, and vice versa for Bayern. I'd say yeah, Arsenal probably the only team that I'd look at and be like, yeah. I think anything else is fair game. I think for all the other teams, there's three or four that they would look at and be like, yeah, I don't really want to play against these teams. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and that develops. And obviously, it's another trophy that Arsenal could potentially win, as the quadruple is still on. The quadruple
Hmm.
is still
Wow, it
there.
took you like what 40 minutes before you were like quadruple, you're good, that's gonna win. Like, nah, it took you
No,
how
the
long
thing,
to mention it?
no, I've already got that documented that you already agreed with the truth that the quadruple is gonna happen. I'm just putting it in realistic terms, but the fact of the matter is the quadruple is still on, still in the League Cup, 3-2 up, yes. Still in the FA Cup. Next game is Portsmouth, I think. No,
Wigan, but that means nothing. People that
You play
yeah,
Portsmouth.
we
Someone else.
got Wigan, but that
Yeah,
also does
Wigan.
that's also annoyed me. People just I'll tell you, I'm ranty today. People were like, "Oh, look at the perspectives. We're 4 points ahead. We shouldn't be saying that. That's nothing to sing and dance about." People are like, "Oh, we got a favorable. We won 7 out of 7. It's just the playoffs. No, so it's just the league phase. Business time starts now." People are like, "Oh, and we got a favorable fixture in the next round. Okay, if we beat Wigan, we don't know who we're gonna face in the round after that and the round after that. We could we could get um a Premier League team and slip up. But like so." These perspectives that people are trying to spin a narrative from the Arsenal side of things, saying, "Okay, we're okay."
But you are
Yes,
okay because the league is still done. The Champions
Hmm.
League is practically done if as long as you avoid Bayern Munich to the final. The League
Hmm.
Cup is done. Chelsea ain't coming back at the Emirates, and the FA Cup is the one that you win all the time. So technically, people are right to be positive because across all four trophies,
top 10.
literally you can start writing the AR on them trophies. And as you said last week, it should be done. That's the reality of the situation.
It should have been,
Anyhow,
but
Arsenal win.
we should have, but it's what it is.
Anyhow, Arsenal win the. I was gonna say, anyhow, Arsenal win the quadruple. I'm booking a holiday. I can't deal with it.
Do you know
I'm
what?
leaving the
If we
country. I'm
ever
leaving.
win the quadruple, you lot think that Arsenal fans, and you know, I would join. I'm not even one of the, I'm not one of those fans, but if we ever win
When
quadruple, if we
The man
ever,
said
when
when.
when
if we ever, oh my days, I don't even know what Arsenal fans will be like because you don't think that Arsenal fans are annoying. Oh my days. Oh my, I don't even know what to
I'm
say.
scared.
That
I'm
I don't
scared.
even.
If
I'm
this
scared
happens,
because if
bro, I'll be honest. I'm leaving the group. I'm telling you now. I'm
bro,
leaving the group.
listen, I
you have to
can't
take
lie to you.
holidays from work,
I
you have
can't
to go like,
I can't
oh,
lie to you. If that ever
if
happens,
we
oh my
ever, you
days.
don't think Arsenal fans, because even like if we win treble, like you say for example, like just being using looking at other options, if you don't think if we might somehow win the treble, it will be bearable for you lot. But if we ever win four, wild
There's
scene.
there's there's no coming back from that.
Bro,
You might as well just. destroy football. Like
Yeah,
just stop football. Like
literally
say
just destroy football,
just saying that we're gonna take the season off. Like, there's gonna be no football
bro.
next season.
Bro, bro. Listen, I'll start watching curling, bro. I'll start watching curling, bro, because
I won't even watch sports. That's how bad it is. I'll stop watching sports.
If we ever, oh my
when
days,
When
four.
man said, "Wait."
Because the Wade may not have been dining out on this treble for how many years?
well, we don't even do it anymore because City did it, so we don't even do
Yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not as much, but he still, he still gets brought up in conversations. But yeah, anyway, I had a question though quickly, about Champions League. Do Arsenal could we finish top two? Is Bayern still second? I didn't really even watch
Yeah,
it
Bayern
today.
second.
Yeah, by a
Do we,
second, yeah.
are we on opposite sides of the thing, or can we
No,
still
no,
face
that's
each
not how
other?
it
No.
works. That's not how it
Oh,
works.
okay, I
So
didn't know.
obviously the top eight will face whomsoever gets out of the playoffs for the last 16. But after that, everyone is fair game.
But then how does it work? Because obviously first two get the home advantage throughout the end of the tournament. So if we face Bayern, who
Nah.
gets?
So you only get the home advantage. Is it for the last 16?
No,
And
I
after
heard
that,
it was throughout to the end of the up until semi-finals or something like that.
who told you that?
I heard them talking about it in commentary and stuff like that. But but yeah, man, obviously as you're looking it up, man. Um, yeah, big game, Leeds. We have to we have to win that game, man. Because that statement I talked about against Man United, we've got no choice but to do that. Champions League, we will reconvene. I think when is it back? Because the playoffs are in February, right? SC?
Yes, February.
Yeah, and
And then yeah, you guys will have a break till like March,
yeah,
till football, till the last eight happens. So it's good for you. At least for your quadruple hopes, not hopes for your certainties.
you know better. I hope we
You
don't
know, no, that's what I'm saying.
deep deep
If you
it.
do that, I can never listen. I'm done. I'm finished. We're done. We have to stop the
Oh,
poddy. TJ, we're gonna have to stop the poddy.
I can't even imagine because you don't think that Arsenal fans are so are bad, and some of them are bad. Can you imagine what they will be like if we ever win?
The nonsense
Yo,
that will happen. It will
I know,
be
okay, you are right. Okay, you are right. So it says
yeah, I knew
here,
I heard that. I heard it somewhere.
yeah. So it says that so it says teams finishing first to fourth at the end of the league phase
Oh,
will
including fourth.
will be seeded for the quarterfinals and therefore given the second leg home advantage for the potential
Oh,
quarterfinal ties. The two sides who finish top and runner up in the league will also be seeded for the semi-finals, earning them the benefit of playing the second leg of their
yeah,
semi-final tie at
oh
home should
wow.
they reach their
yeah.
stage. If a
Uh,
seeded team does not progress to the quarter of all the semi-finals, the team that knocked them out inherits their
oh,
seeding
I didn't
position.
know that.
Oh crazy.
Yeah.
But then, so what if like I said, Arsenal Bayern face each other? Then who gets do you get the home advantage or playing second
No, but
because
Arsenal and Bayern are
we
not gonna
finished on
face
top?
each other.
So then I would assume from reading that Arsenal and Bayern will not play each other until the final.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, how does it work? So that's the only thing that makes
So
sense.
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm not against it for the last 16 in the quarters. I think the semis. I don't think that should be a rule. But the fact of the matter is that you had to, because from last season that was a farce what they did. So I think they had to make it this way because then what's the point in finishing the top eight of the
Mhm,
group stage if you're not going to benefit in any way, shape, or form? So
mhm.
I think that's a good rule that they've changed. But I think it should have only went to the quarterfinals. I think semi-finals you could have just mixed and match. I don't think it would have made much of a difference. But there you go. So yeah, you avoid buying. So me personally, I'm thinking again. So there you go. Another positive, another reason as to why the quadruple is gonna happen because now you don't have to play
Do you know,
buying.
I'm gonna get on board. I even want to win it just to piss everyone off. And you know, I'm not
You
that way
win it.
inclined.
Like I said, you lot win all of this stuff. I'm logging. I'm not watching football.
I can't lie to you. I couldn't stay here if they do the quadruple, but it is a possibility. But
Don't
listen,
worry, man. You got internet is worldwide, man. Elon Musk is getting it to the jungle, Amazon,
nah, nah,
bro.
nah, nah,
So
nah,
you can
bro.
do it wherever you are.
I'm
Wherever
going
you are, we
Antarctica.
got
There's
that
no Wi-Fi
Starlink,
in
bro. We
Antarctica,
got
bro.
that Starlink, bro.
There's no Wi-Fi in Antarctica, bro. I'm telling you, it's too cold for that. But listen,
It's
people,
okay, TJ. I'm promoting George in it, so we'll make
we'll
sure
get
we'll
we'll
make
get
sure.
we're gonna wrap it up there. Listen, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the social media derby. Are you on the Arsenal side? Are you on the Manchester United side? Obviously, were you celebrating like mad as a Manchester United fan? Were you down in the dumps,
Of course you were,
depressed,
man.
looking for a drink?
Biggest game of
As an
your
Arsenal fan,
recent
obviously
history.
corner boys FC. Obviously, we took their corners. As I said, Marlo Stanfield taking man's corners, bro. Let us know what you think about Arsenal. If they don't win against Leeds, is the pressure ramped up? Is Mikel Arteta the reason why these players aren't performing to the standard? Does he need to release the handbrake? Does he need to get more players? Sorry, before we go, Gherkin's clearance in the last minute against United
That
was
guy's
the
that guy's
bro. This
that guy's
guy
a
He
thought
was
monster.
he was
offside, man. He knew he was offside. He
it
knew he
wasn't
was
offside.
offside. That's why, man.
It was a foul, but he didn't know, bro. This guy was trying to do a thing. Don't ask me what he was doing, but listen. But yeah, let us know what you think about that. Let us know what you think
Big
about
to Flopperez, man.
well, you let us know what you think about United. Obviously, next test Fulham. If they do not pass this test,
Come on,
what does
Harry
that
Wilson.
do? What does that do for Manchester United and Michael Carrick? Let us know what you think about Spurs and Manchester City. Who you got? Are you supporting Spurs like Mr. KA, or are you looking at Manchester City? Do you think it's going to be a draw like ST? Let us know what you think about the Champions League as well. Who do you think are the favourites? Is it Arsenal? Is it Bayern? Do you think that somebody else is the favourites? How do you think you see that play out? And finally, obviously, we got K on record saying it last week. We got him again saying this week the quadruple is definitely on. What will you do if you are a Arsenal fan or you're an op if Arsenal were to do the quadruple? We want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, and same time, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description.
Well,
Want to say thank you very much to my guys, Mr. KA and ST, as usual. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
love, guys, love, always.
Love.
100%. People coming up. I did say it last week, but I got the dates wrong. But it's definitely this week. Obviously, the preview for the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson fight. Tooth will be back for that. He will be on because we're going to review UFC 324 as well. Obviously, Footie Chat will be back next week as usual, and we will be working behind the scenes with Mr. KA and the Truth to get a mid-season NBA talk around the NBA All-Star game because we know you want it. The Truth cannot hide. Mr. KA is here on a regular basis now, so there's no reason why that can't happen. But listen, people, stay safe out there. Be safe. And we shall see you very, very soon.
Tune in next
Peace.
week to see if Mr. Teacher's wearing his shirt, his Man United shirt. How long will it continue?
We'll see, bro. It might be the Juventus one next week, bro. It might be the Juventus one next week.
Peace.
Peace.